Welcome to the Michigan Runner Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
Hi, I'm Jenny McCafferty for the Michigan Runner, and we're at Bauman's Running and Walking Store in Flint, Michigan, with Mark Bauman, who started this whole thing. How are you doing today, Mark?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, good. You've been in running a long time, and the store itself has been around a long time. But how did you get started?
I started running in high school as a junior at Ainsworth High School here in Flint. And my brother kind of talked me into going out to run. He wasn't a runner, but he talked me into going out and been running since.
Okay, so what was fun about it?
I just enjoyed being around the people and, the fitness aspect of it.
Okay, that makes sense. And so ran for high school. Were you on a cross-country team or a track team?
Started cross country and then continued on to run track the next spring.
What events did you run in track?
Well, the first year I ran, that was the first year of the 2 mile in high school. So I was a 2 miler, and one meet the coach put me in the half mile, which is now the 800. Right. And he said afterward, he says, "You're a 2 miler."
Oh, okay.
I had no leg speed.
You had the wrong kind of muscles, right?
Yes, exactly. I've never broken 60 in a quarter or 400.
Well, the 2 miles is still as long as is running, high school running in Michigan.
In track, yes.
Yes, in track, yes, exactly. And so you ran the 800 also. One time. Okay. So that really requires pacing. How did you learn how to pace yourself in a 2 mile run?
It took a long time, many years past high school that I finally figured out how to pace myself.
So if you were talking to a high school runner today who's looking at running 2 miles or 3,000 or whatever, what do you tell them about that pacing?
If I know who's also in the race with them, I will tell them who to get behind at the start, so that they don't go out with someone who's a lot who goes out fairly fast. If I know the people in the event.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Never thought about that part. And you run behind somebody and let them kind of break the way for you too.
And then you when they slow down, they would be a slower runner than you, but when they start slowing down because they start out too fast, then you can carry on. With heart rate monitors now, you can gauge it a lot off your heart rate.
So talk about that a little bit. How do high school kids use heart rate monitors?
I don't know if they're allowed to use them. I think they can use watches now, can't they? If they can use watches, they can use a heart rate monitor.
That's true. Yeah. So what's the difference? How do you use a heart rate monitor to pace yourself?
Well, you would base that on what your maximum heart rate is going to be, and then you'd want to go out at probably 70% of that to start your race.
Okay. That's fun to think about that. So how were you were you front of the pack, back of the pack, high school?
Well, for my school, for Ainsworth, I was like my junior year, I was third or fourth runner, and senior year I was second or third runner, but we were pretty bad.
Oh, ouch.
Yes.
I should never have said back of the pack. You've never been back of the pack. So what was one of your favorite races in high school? Something you look forward to or have a good memory of?
From high school, favorite races would have been some of the cross-country races with the adverse conditions, because I kind of liked, at that time running, like a cross-country race we ran. High school, we ran a conference meet in a snowstorm that we had no school the next day.
Oh.
So that was a good snowstorm.
That's a good snowstorm. And mud. Do you like running in mud?
Mud was fun at that time too, but all of that has changed over the years.
And wind in your face.
Well, I don't know if I've ever liked wind in my face.
I'm thinking of Desi Linden winning Boston last year because she could manage those conditions.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was really your kind of condition too.
That's kind of my kind of conditions. Yes. Yeah, definitely. People say, "Is that the worst you've ever ran a marathon or Boston?" I said, "Well, not really, because the heat was worse, a lot worse for me."
Yeah. I mean, especially for Michigan people.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's advantages to living here in the wintertime, and that's running is one of them, I think. You know. And so, have you ever gone south and spent a lot of time in the winter?
Not more than a couple of weeks.
Okay. So you.
Not a couple of weeks.
Okay. So you kind of like the conditions here still.
I still like the conditions here. I get tired of them sometimes the end of the winter, or it would be nice to have breaks at different.
So, you were a high school runner. Your competition was what other schools?
It would have been the Big Nine Conference
Okay.
at that time. Grand Blanc, Owasso, Clio was a Big Nine school.
Those are good
Mount
schools.
Morris.
That's good.
Yes. Swartz Creek. Yes.
Swartz Creek too.
Yes. Kersley.
Yeah, and Grand Blanc has sent
Davison.
some superstars over the years.
Yes. 9 schools.
Those are good schools. That's good competition.
Swartz Creek. Yes.
Swartz Creek too. Wow.
Kersley.
Yeah, and Grand Blanc has sent some superstars over the years. Who was your coach in high school?
Howdy Loomis. Howdy C. Loomis.
Tell us about him.
Howdy Loomis was a pretty low-key guy. He either hadn't heard of them or didn't know about intervals. So we never ran intervals in high school. I didn't run intervals until I was in college.
That's unusual. Do you think it helped or not?
Well, probably not. Yeah, I would say that was part of our problem.
So, a few years later, you went to junior college, which is now called Mott Community College. What was it called then? Okay.
Yes, we had cross country and track both, and I ran both at that time, and had a great time because we traveled also.
Oh, okay. Who was your competition when you traveled?
Well, travel would be a travel around the state because the conference was the state.
Mm-hmm.
So Grand Rapids, Macomb Community College, the Oakland Community College. I think Highland Lakes was one of the top teams at that time.
Okay. And what events did you run? You mentioned cross country. So, interact, did you still stick with the distance?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The distance races, yes.
Mm-hmm. Where were you on the team in if you among the 5 to 7 runners?
5 to 7 runners. I was closer to 5th or 7th runner in college, in junior college. Yes, like I said, I have very little leg speed. So,
but you kept going.
but I kept going. Yes.
And what was same thing? The fitness.
Yeah, and being around the people, I just enjoy running.
Okay.
I just enjoy being out there doing it.
Okay. You probably inspire other people who are maybe not looking forward to it.
Well, it's nice to talk to people and help them out. Yes.
Yeah. So, did you do that in college? Talk to people as you're training?
We did. Yes.
Yeah.
Fellow runners. Yes, we ran together a lot, and in not just practices with the team. Off season, we did a lot.
You mentioned fellow runners, and it's probably that there were no girls running at that point.
No. Well, few in road races, but very few.
Right.
But in college, no. I don't recall any girls' teams at all. In high school, the only girls' sports I remember were speedball and 6-on-6 basketball.
It took a while for Title IX to kick in.
Yes.
So some of us were before Title IX, so we kind of remember being on the outside looking in. So,
Yes.
so you guys didn't have to think about that much.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Right.
yeah. So, who was your coach in college?
Well, at Mott, it was Paul Griffin, and he was a runner, so he ran with us a little bit, and actually he's who got me started running Boston.
Oh.
He ran Boston the first year I ran. Yes.
Okay. Well, that in itself is a really interesting story. So, who else on your team were good runners? College team.
Our top runners were Paul Baldwin, who went on to run like a 404 mile at University of Kentucky.
Wow.
And Tyrone Griffin, who still lives locally, and I think he's been working for GM like 50 years or something like that. And Tyrone still runs a little bit.
Okay.
And he was very fast, good runner.
That name is familiar.
He
Okay,
was
that
very fast, good runner.
that name is familiar. Not sure why, but
Both won a lot of local road races.
okay, that may be why.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, going from a college cross country team to the Boston Marathon, we're talking maybe a 5K to 26.2 miles. That's amazing.
Well, we trained for it. We did a good job that winter of getting our long runs in. And actually, at that time, you did your long run 20-miler the week before.
The week before.
The week before.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. Way a bit different.
Things have changed.
Yes, they changed a lot.
So, back up a little bit. In college, how did your team rank among the others in the same conference?
At Mott, we were first, second in the conference. Our team was.
That's good.
Yes. And did second year I was at Mott, the team ran in the nationals.
Oh. And the nationals at that point would have been what?
We were in, I think it was Butler, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And it had snowed a couple days before, and there was about 8 inches of snow on the ground. So everybody's time was like 5 minutes slower than normal.
That must have been a high. Was that fun?
Oh, yeah.
Fun?
Oh, yeah. We had a great time. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially.
A long trip.
Yeah, long trip, and us being from Michigan, and some of the teams from the South just kind of, picking on them. Some of the kids had never seen snow before, and they were running, the national meet in, that much snow.
Yeah. What was the course like?
It was a golf course,
Okay.
so it was, kind of rolling hills.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's pretty exciting to go to the national meet.
Yes, yes, it was. Very exciting. Yes, it was. Very exciting. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, other than going to the nationals, what are some of the highlights or things you remember the most from college running?
It was a lot of the travel and the experience of, the track meets and cheering on your fellow runners, trying to get them motivated to go faster, or you got to catch this guy in front of you, watch out for somebody behind you, all of the team stuff.
Did you run any road races those years?
Yes, I would run some road races. Yes, definitely.
okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we ran road races.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did your training for cross country and track help in the road races?
Well, they all blend in together, and, the road races were few and far between at that time.
Right.
But, yeah, they did help keep you going. Yes. Yes. And, they
Sure.
complement each other.
Or I was going to say, and the reverse of that would be, how did running in road races help your college career? Other than more time on your feet.
Yeah, more time on your feet, help you to be ready for, the cross-country season when it starts, or the track season when it starts, running in the off-season. Definitely.
Cool. So you really have two careers going almost parallel all through college with road running and cross country and track.
And if you wanted to have a chance at competing, you needed to be running year-round, and, the races were there. You wanted to do them. I mean, at that time, I think I ran just about any race I could find.
Okay.
Which, wasn't every week, but it was any race.
So, Mark Bauman's been talking to us about his early running career. And stay tuned for more from Mark.